Hello everyone. For this safeguarding environment review, I chose to assess a school environment, focusing on how safe it is for children and what risks may exist. Now, this reflection is based on child protection, risk identification, and analysis. Firstly, one key strength would be the presence of teachers and supervision, which helps monitor the children's safety within the school premises. Secondly, structured routines, the likes of timetables, rules, they create predictability and they reduce exposure to harm. Thirdly, schools provide access to education and peer support, which are important protective factors that supports children's development and well-being. However, there are also risks, and one of the risks include bullying, which can affect a child's emotional well-being if not addressed properly. Another risk is the lack of confidential reporting mechanism, where children may feel unsafe to report abuse and concerns. Lastly, the unsafe disciplinary practices such as harsh punishment. They can create fear and harm instead of protection. Now, to improve this environment, school should or can establish safe and confidential reporting systems, ensuring that children feel heard and protected. Another improvement that may be there would be capacitating or training the teachers on positive discipline and child protection practices, which would help create a safer, more supportive environment. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Kayla Minayo. I'm doing a video for IYAP, the third session which we had on Monday, that was on child risk and identification. I'm going to talk about the safeguarding environment review. This is basically the process of identifying basically the process of assessing how safe a child's environment is and identifying the risk that a child is likely to face in that specific environment. The environments that I chose to review is a school. This is because in a child's life, especially early childhood life, they spend majority of their time in school, and because they tend to spend probably a full day in school as compared to at home, and in this environment it is supposed to be very safe for a child in order for them to experience the school life properly. So one of the main things that we should identify is the physical safety of the school. So the first thing we should check is the school infrastructure, whether the school has been properly constructed, the doors of the school, if they are properly put in place. This is because of unsafe buildings can be very destructive in the child, and if there are tools, if the building was not properly constructed and there are tools around, it can really harm the child. Another thing when it comes to the physical safety of the environment is overcrowded areas. We'd find that in an area that's very underdeveloped, you find that there's only one school in that area, hence a larger, like every single person from the community is bringing their children to that specific school. This will cause overcrowding and therefore is a huge risk to the child. We also have unsafe playgrounds that can be a very huge risk for the child, because we know children really like to play, and if the playground is unsafe, they're likely to be at risk. Another thing we should check on is the healthcare of the school, and if there's clean water for the children to drink and wash their hands. Another thing is the sanitary of the food that is being provided by the school. And also another thing is how clean the school is. Are the toilets being washed? Is the school being washed? Are the classes being properly cleaned? Yes, these are the things that can really put a child's health at risk and causing them to be sick. For example, unclean water can cause waterborne diseases, and unclean areas and surfaces can also cause children to develop respiratory diseases. Another risk we should check on is abuse, whether it is bullying from other classmates, or mistreatment from the teachers, discrimination, gender discrimination based on gender towards the children by the teachers. This can happen as well. And also external factors can also be something that we should check on, that can be a risk to children. For example, if the school is not properly guarded, and then where we have people from outside having access to the school, that is unauthorized personnel, can be a very huge risk factor towards the children. And we also have violence and crime that can make the children not feel safe in the environment. So a few of the ways where I can suggest that we can improve the school for it to be a risk-free environment, and for the children to be able to live in and be comfortable in, is one, we should improve the school's infrastructure. We should ensure that the school is properly constructed and everything is in place. And even if the school is under construction, it is not during the time that the children are in school, to prevent injuries. And then also is to make sure that there's clean water in the school, and the school is being properly cleaned, and there are people who have been employed to clean the school. Another thing is to provide counseling and guidance and counseling for the children, so that they can be able to, when they are facing a risk, someone can be able to identify it, and also they can be able to freely talk to someone and feel comfortable to discuss this with someone. Another way is training the teachers to be able to identify these risks, and also training them to know what is right and what is wrong, so that they can be able to help the children when they are at risk. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Rabia, and from our last session I learned that child protection risk include any situation where a child may face harm, abuse, neglect, or exploitation. And what really stood out to me in that session is identifying a risk. And identifying a risk alone is not enough. We must analyze that risk and analyze the full situation of the child. And we have to look at both the risk factors and the protective factors to understand how serious the risk is. And I also learned that the process must be child-centered, meaning we must listen to the child and focus on their best interest when making decisions, because that is a principle of child right, the best interest principle, which is paramount consideration when we are dealing with any situation that includes a child. And earlier identification is very important. It is the first step in helping the child. If risks are not identified at early stage, they can worsen and they can lead to more serious harm. And also identifying risk early allows for timely intervention and helps long-term consequences. So we have to identify risks at a very early stage so that we can be able to help a child. And in my community and in Kenya generally, this is very relevant because children face challenges such as child labor, neglect, unsafe living conditions, and many cases go unreported due to stigma or fear. So this means that we need stronger community awareness and reporting systems, and we must always focus on what child truly needs.
For the safeguarding environment review, I took a real scenario of a school that is here in our county. It is a school that is located on the border of two counties, and each county has got its own language. For me, what I saw, what was the strength of that school is because of being on the border of the two counties, the children there are able to learn the different languages from the both counties, and hence they get to have social skills, and they're able to interact with more people than the ones that are in their county. And also I feel that the school has inclusion because children are there from both counties and from both languages, so there's no language discrimination, and I also feel like there's diversity in that school. The risks that are found in the school are, one, because of the way the school is found in a semi-arid place, these are tough terrain because of the mountains, and also the sub-Saharan place, it is dry, so hence there you find some wild animals like the snakes and very large ones, and some parts of the community there are big rivers, so hence you find that some water animals like the hippos come out during the night, the evening, and also early in the morning, so that puts children in a very tough place because they have to go to school when those animals are there chasing them. The other thing that I found is the school has got very poor hygiene because of the way it is in the sub-Saharan, and the government is not providing enough resources for the school. And the way there are a lot of children there, there's poor hygiene because of the washrooms are not enough. There's no enough water because of the way the place is dry, and there is no wells. The wells are very scarce, and also because of the playground, the place is very dusty, so you find most of the children have colds and flus because of the dust. For me, what I would suggest there would be improvement on, I would suggest that the staff be trained on the safeguarding policies and child rights, and that the staff may be able to train the children and also to teach the children about their rights and what is expected of them. And also what the other one improvement that they would do is to increase the supervision for the children. They should help the children when they are going back home in the evening, and also in the morning when they are coming to school, so that they may protect the children from getting harmed by the wild animals.